Welcome. Today is Monday, November 5th. Double Minor makes his triumphant return to the Matt Musz airwaves. In this episode, we discuss time changes, fall cleanup, how stout season is upon us, and the first college football playoff poll many teams made their case to be in, while others fell out of consideration. We discuss the flying booger and how there is only one dry beer that we like. Let's go.
This is the Matt Musz Show with Matt Hensler and Adam Muszynski.
Welcome back.
I read that multiple times and Flying Booger still got me.
Did you? I
Yes.
figured that was the first time you read it the way you started laughing.
No, I read it 3 times at home. I read it 3 times here, and Flying Booger got me every time.
Nice. Glad I can make you laugh. All right. What's good, man?
Oh, not these socks. Just found I have a hole in the bottom of them.
That's the worst feeling, and especially now that you're stuck in my house for the next hour and a half.
I know it. I'm glad you cleaned your carpet.
Exactly. Sometimes.
Speaking of carpet, we're getting new carpet.
Congrats.
Finally, yeah. Just a little multi-$1,000 investment. It's my
Just a
favorite.
wee bit.
Yeah. So I get to spend all day Thursday cleaning out my house and moving everything in the back part of the house so they can come in and put carpet in. I can't wait.
Did you take the day off?
No, I didn't take the day off. I'm on vacation.
Come on.
Oh, I decided to have a kid this year, so kind of hindered things.
Happens.
Yeah. Other than that, nothing's doing. Went to a wedding down in Detroit.
That fun?
It was swanky. It was fun. Good time.
Swanky?
Swanky. The Rattlesnake Club.
I said hoopla and you made fun of me and you just used swanky.
Yeah. Hoopla is an old lady word.
So is swanky.
Swanky's yeah, you're right.
Good job.
That was a good time. It was fun.
Nice. So it's fall. You know what I hate about fall?
The leaves.
Leaves. I hate leaves.
I hate leaves.
I've ran over my lawn like 3 times now, and they're still there. And I just refuse to pick them up because I'm too lazy. But I made a
Sounds like
pile.
personal problem.
I know. I made a pile for Jameson. He loved it. He jumped in it and everything. Other than that, man, just cleaning, getting ready for the baby. One thing after another. But we asked all of you. This past Sunday was fallback, daylight savings time. I don't know how it works, but I think it's stupid. And when you have kids, it's even more stupid. So we want to know what you all did. Matt?
I did yard work. I spent my entire extra hours of the day doing yard work. And I cleaned up all the damn leaves in my yard.
Nice.
And last night it rained a little bit and wind blew a little bit. And I woke up this morning and looks like I didn't do anything. It's literally the most demeaning thing I've ever experienced in my life. Very frustrating, very sad.
Nice. I hate leaves. I woke up at 4 o'clock with my son. I got him back to bed like at 5, and he woke up again at like 5:30 or 6. So it was a long night. I don't like time changes like that.
I think we should all sign a petition to get rid of daylight savings. Arizona. Fun fact, Arizona does not use daylight savings.
Neither does Hawaii.
Neither does Hawaii.
A couple states that don't.
Actually, let me pull this up real quick because I already had it pulled up,
Okay.
so I just have to switch pages. Arizona, except for one of the Navajo tribal land areas. Hawaii, the American territories of Samoa, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. They do not use or celebrate. I guess you don't celebrate it. They don't have daylight savings.
Good.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
more
Now, there's a
people-
few cities here and there throughout the
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah. More people should be like them. I don't know.
Daylight savings is dumb.
Matt on Facebook said he did the dishes, cleaned the house. Jessica mysteriously showed up to work 45 minutes early. Or were you 15 minutes late and just got lucky that you were 45 minutes early? I believe your mother spent time with...
Oh, yeah, that was my mom.
Olivia?
My mom hung out with my daughter. She
Nice.
apparently didn't sleep very well for my mom. So, I mean, I kind of feel bad, but she said she'd watch her, and I wasn't going to tell her not to. So we got to go have fun at the wedding. Shayna woke up nice and early the next day to go pick her up because, of course, she did.
That's it. How was Shayna feeling the next morning?
Good.
Yeah.
She had a few glasses of wine, like quite a few glasses of wine, but She hasn't had a chance to drink wine in a long time. I know how big of a wine fan she is, so
That works.
night away from the baby, I think, was good for her.
And my wife washed and organized newborn clothes.
All right.
Go, babe, go. All right. So, special treat for all you Facebook Live watchers right now. We have our good buddy, Jared Double Minor, on the line. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Not much. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, you guys too. It's been a while.
We got to do this more often.
I know. I'm a busy guy.
We know. We try not to bug you too often.
All right, a couple questions. Hockey season is officially underway in the NHL, but we're going to start with our question of the podcast. And you is, what did you do with your extra hour of sleep since you don't have any kids?
I don't have any kids, so I went out. I went and watched the 12th annual Guns and Hoses game in Saginaw at the Dow. So it was it's a nice hockey charity game. The cops play the local firemen, and the cops came home with the W, 8-3.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So shout out to my roommate Brent Lamon. He had a penalty shot goal.
Nice. They put a whooping on him.
They did, yeah. The firemen won last year, so they go back and forth. It's actually a lot of fun to go watch.
Cool. So what are your early thoughts on the Wings in the NHL and what's going on right now?
As far as the NHL goes as a whole, I think it's been a lot of fun to watch. There's a lot of scoring going on still. I didn't know if that was just beginning of the season last time we talked, but teams are still scoring. As far as Red Wings go, it's kind of to be expected. A little slow start, 0-7-2, and then they came back with 3-game win streak. Some injuries, people on and off, but they're starting to compete, but I don't think they're scoring enough in general. But special teams has been doing awesome. The power play's 25%, the penalty kill is 80%. So rule of thumb is to try to be 100% on both of those, and we're above that. So I think it's been a decent start to the year.
Good. I mean, it's good to hear some confidence in the Wings. I mean, from an outsider looking in, you see the Wings and you think garbage because that's the way they look. But you break it down, I mean, they're okay. How do you feel about Blashill right now, though? I mean, is he the guy we want?
For right now, yeah, I think he's fine. Let him run on his contract. I mean, usually when teams fire a coach, it's so they can get somebody in and make an immediate change, but that's not really the mindset for the Red Wings. So, right now he's doing all right. I mean, you can only be as good as what you got out on the ice. And, as we talked before, there's some lingering contracts and injuries and things like that. But I think when they make some upper management changes coming up, it'll all trickle down.
Yeah, they're really young. I don't know. I think they're fun to watch.
They are.
So the big news out of the draft was the Wings getting Filip Zadina. Do you think we'll see him at all this year?
If I had to guess, well, I mean, if everyone keeps getting injured, it might be sooner than later. But
right.
I don't think we will until after the first of the year, most likely. Bring him in, get him some playing time. He's doing all right down in Grand Rapids. I think he's got 9 points or 7 points, something like that, in a few games. But yeah, probably after the first of the year.
I like him. I'm glad we drafted him.
I'm glad he's down in Grand Rapids, too, because it's one thing to keep him down there and get playing time rather than coming up to the Wings starting off. Yeah, cool, you're on the Wings, but your playing time's going to be very minimal compared to what he's getting in Grand Rapids.
So,
right.
Jared, looking at the league as a whole, is there a team that has impressed you so far this season more than others?
Red Wings at glimpses, but overall, I gotta say the Calgary Flames. They're leading the Pacific. They got 19 points. They've had a really tough schedule. Everybody in the West is pretty good, so it's been tough. And they picked up James Neal from Las Vegas, and he's playing well. And I don't know, they're winning games. It seems like they're down every time I see some stats in the first period, and then I check it the next day, and they won the game. So, yeah, they're playing really well.
Honestly, I thought the same exact thing. I did not see Calgary having the season they are so far. I figured they finish maybe the middle of the Pacific, and they, like you said, are leading it right now. Kind of with authority, too, which is pretty impressive to see.
Yeah, it's still early yet, but, I mean...
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't make the playoffs in October, but you can miss them.
Right. And it's like any long season. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's going to get ironed out, and who's good, who you thought is good, was probably still going to be there at the end, and who we kind of thought was bad are eventually going to fall off. So,
right. Yeah, if they stay healthy, who knows what could happen.
Right. Could have a Vegas situation again.
Yeah.
What team has disappointed you the most so far?
Other than the Red Wings.
Yeah.
Oh, them too. L.A. Kings. Wow, not a good start for them. I think they only got 8 or 9 points or something like that. And on paper, they should be winning every game for who they have. They picked up Kovalchuk back from Russia in the off season. I know they dealt with a couple injuries, but I mean, you got Doughty and Brown, and the list goes on and on and on. But not pretty. They only scored 28 goals so far this year, so not
currently
pretty.
LA has 9 points. They are 4-8-1 through 13 games.
They have
3-7 through the last 10.
the worst goals per game average at 2.2, and which led them to fire John Stevens. So.
Yeah, if you're a Kings fan, I would be disappointed. That's for sure. I'm not a big Kings fan, so I'm not overly mad about it.
Hockey fans to begin with,
especially when they're not good.
Not a whole lot of ice out there,
right?
So on a personal level, you play hockey. How's your league going?
Men's league, actually, we're doing pretty good. We got a 7-1 start. We lost our last game. We had one team not show up, so one of those wins is a little skewed. But
all right.
Hey, you just got to play who shows up. If they don't show up, it don't matter.
Yeah, it's men's leagues. A win's a win.
That's right. 1-0 is our first shutout of the year there. So. No, it's always a good time. Have a couple toddies before the game, and after the game, go out and have a couple. And I don't know, we got one Thursday night at 9. So we'll see how that goes. It's my exercise for the week, so I look forward to it.
One day a week, good exercise.
That's right. Sometimes twice, but most of the time we won.
Who do you play on Thursday?
We play Pond Pros. They're a team that came over from Midland, a bunch of younger guys. It's actually usually a pretty fun game. Gets a little chippy, but yeah, it's all in good fun.
Well, they're good, and they like to fight. I've seen them play 4 or 5 times.
How long's your season?
We started a couple weeks ago, so it goes like end of September until March or April.
We're going to do an overtime one of your league nights. We're coming there.
Hey.
Going live.
Hey, you can come in the locker room after and have a beer or two.
Post-game interview?
Yeah, you might want to get the bleep button out, but it's a good time.
All right, man. It's been real. Thanks for coming on. We'll touch base soon.
As always, thanks for having me.
Talk to you later, Jared.
See ya.
It's another investment. We have to make a bleep button.
Yeah.
Need it for Jake once in a while.
This is our stat/fact of the podcast.
So, we were just talking about hockey, the NHL, and I came across something very interesting. During World War II, the NHL overtime was eliminated due to travel restrictions for trains. So teams couldn't risk the game going too long. They missed the last train of the night because the train stopped running because of wartime, whatever. And it wasn't until the 1983-1984 season that the overtime came back to the NHL, which I thought was very interesting. I never knew that there was honestly, I never knew there was a travel restriction on trains in the U.S. during World War II, and I never even anticipated the fact that it would affect NHL overtime. But it did. Good to know. I prefer shootouts.
Oh, me too.
But I do love the 3-on-3 overtime that we have right now.
Yeah.
It's awesome to watch. I get to see it live a couple times down at the Joe, and it's really, really cool to see.
Yep. No, I agree. It's I I like the overtime in the NHL. I like the shootout. And I did not actually, when you wrote that stat, I had no idea. I was like, I get it. I'm just shocked that it took, 40 years?
Ish, yeah.
Yeah, to get reinstated again.
Yeah.
Even after that travel ban.
Well, hockey's evolved a lot. I mean, you ever look at
Oh,
pictures of old hockey goalies before they decided to wear a mask?
Or pads.
Yeah. Which is stupid.
Right.
This is our stat/fact of the podcast.
Before and after now?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Good.
I think it's fun.
Good point,
No.
I never thought of it that way.
No, whatever. So before we came on air, literally about an hour before, the U.S. Olympic Committee is looking to revoke the USA Gymnastics as a national governing body due to the NASAR scandal. So this came across, which is huge news. Everyone knows the NASAR situation, MSU. I'll just leave that one there. But it's interesting that the USOC, under its bylaws, has the power to stop USA Gymnastics. Basically what the article are currently saying is they're stopping it, cleaning house, and starting anew. So for all you gymnastics fans out there, I don't think that the next Olympics, the U.S. will not be there in gymnastics. It's just going to have a different look on the side that the spectators have no idea about. It's the presidents, the co-chairs, all their committees, coaching staff, stuff like that. They're just going to clean house, is what it sounds like, and move on from there.
So I got to admit, I'm not super understanding of how gymnastics really works from this side, basically this side of it, the business side of it. The way I understand it, though, is that U.S. Gymnastics is the local governing body that must follow all the bylaws of the U.S. Olympic Committee. So the U.S. Olympic Committee, if the U.S. Gymnastics team wants to come in there, they basically are saying, no, you have to do all this stuff before you are able to participate in the Olympics again. Am I understanding that right?
I believe so. Basically, I don't know, because this is a very touchy subject. I don't want to get any of it wrong. But yeah, they're saying, hey, USA Gymnastics is here, but because it's a national sport, it falls under the flag of the United States Olympic Committee, which then gives them kind of the overseeing power to go in and say, nope.
Oh.
That's how I understand it.
No, I mean, it makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. So does the U.S. Olympic Committee appoint new presidents?
I would assume they'd have to, because, I mean, you're not going to rely on the athletes to go out and do that. I'm assuming they're going to want to go through an interview process and hire the right people for the job. This just broke like an hour or 2 hours ago, so it's still very new. We're getting more information literally by the minute of it's coming out. But it's weird because I always thought the NASAR thing was kind of finished at this point.
But it's not.
But, yeah, it's not. And honestly, this just shows you how seriously the USOC takes this. If they're going to go in and be like, no, we're cleaning house, we're starting fresh, wipe our hands of it and move on. It just proves how bad of a human he was.
Reading through the articles, though, that I have found, it's more than just Nasser. Obviously, he's the root stem of it, but there's also all the other people that were in charge that
cover-ups.
There's people that covered up. There's people that sort of just turned a blind eye. I mean, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see when they just watch gymnastics on TV, and then you don't think about those types of things that actually need to happen for the gymnastics teams to exist.
Exactly.
So, I mean, looks like an absolute whitewash, clean house of the gymnastics team from the top down,
which is good. And as much as this probably should have happened from the start, it's good that. I know overreact isn't the right word to use, but it's good that they didn't overreact and do this right from the start. They took time to figure out who was involved, and now they're just like, you know what? It's easier with everyone that was involved in this situation to wipe the slate clean the house, and move on. So,
pretty interesting. Hopefully we'll have more by the end of the week. maybe a better understanding. As I said, I'm not quite versed in the ways
No,
of gymnastics.
me either. I just know this is pretty big news.
Huge
Yeah.
news.
So, all right. This past Thursday was National Stout Day. How did you celebrate?
By drinking a sour beer. Because I forgot it was National Stout Day.
Really? I was at lunch and they had a Brewdog Nitro on, and I was like, all right, it's Stout Day. I'll get after it. I'm not a big stout guy. That's the only one I had, actually. But
I am a very seasonal drinker. I love stouts. I'm happy
Yes.
it's stout season. I sold a few stouts today.
I honestly, when I wrote that question, I thought you were going to have like a huge long story of all the stouts you drink, because I know you're a huge stout guy. I'm kind of disappointed.
Sorry. I mean, I didn't want to clog up all the airtime with my meaningless meanderings of menacing
So
stout
why is this
drinking.
week different than any other week?
So I'm trying to turn a new leaf here. You're not making it easy on me. But yeah, I like stouts a lot.
You're good.
I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer.
Yeah, that's fine. Just wondering.
Bryson DeChambeau injured his hand at a hockey game the night before winning the Shriners Hospital for Children Open. I can't golf well healthy,
That's what I was thinking.
let alone win a tournament with a hand injury.
Oh, I saw that come across. I was like, no way. I guess we don't know what the injury was, but it's still impressive. I think. I don't know.
I hope it was like torn ligaments and broken finger,
No, I'm sure it wasn't. It was probably like
but it might have been
a bruise, contusion, maybe.
contusion, the most serious kind of bruise,
Right.
one all the way down to the bone, a bone contusion.
For the Wings fans out there, the Russian 5 documentary from Josh Reel will be in theaters early next year, reportedly.
So you've read this book?
I've read the book. I'm super pumped to see the documentary because it's all the interviews basically for the book. The book's fantastic. I'm pumped. I can't wait. They've had so many, what do you call it?
I don't know.
Private showings at film festivals and stuff like that. That I'm pumped to finally be able to see it. They've always been not in Saginaw, so I haven't been able to go. But I'm pumped. I'm excited. Early next year, it should be hitting theaters. I'm assuming at this point everywhere in Michigan should get it. But yeah, I'm pumped.
I'm really excited to see it. I'll be honest, I probably won't read the book. I'll probably just watch the movie.
The book's good.
I know. I just not good at reading.
No, I know. You don't have to be good at reading.
I just don't like reading. It puts me to sleep. Okay.
Okay.
So, little fun thing I heard over the weekend when Alabama was playing against LSU. Tua, I'm not even going to pronounce his last name because I butcher it every time I say it, but something like Tungoveloa. I think that's pretty close. Tua, the quarterback for Alabama, probably one of the best quarterbacks that they've had in a long time. He played in the fourth quarter for the first time this season. For the first time all season, he played in the fourth quarter against LSU, who they beat. And he is already being called the shoe-in for the Heisman Trophy this year. He's played in one fourth quarter all year and is probably going to win the Heisman Trophy as a sophomore.
That's ridiculous.
The kid's an animal. Absolute animal.
Bryson DeChambeau had a dime-sized blister from ringing the bell at the Vegas hockey game.
Hold on, what?
He wasn't even playing hockey. He was ringing the siren before the third period of play at the Vegas Golden Knights game and realized he had a painful blister the size of a dime.
Oh my gosh.
And he tried to treat on his own, but the area remained dried and cracked. Looks like it's his right hand. He's got like some crazy fancy Band-Aid. I don't know.
Makes me angry. It makes me really angry. But to give you just God, I've had painful blisters before, and I still go do very mediocre things.
Right.
To give you an idea of what Tua's season's looking like right now with playing in...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Yeah.
Yep. Lions have fired Joe Marciano, the special teams coordinator, as of 5 minutes ago.
What?
Breaking news on the Matt Musz Show.
That you're going to hear on Wednesday.
Or
Unless you're watching it right now.
Thanks, Matthew.
That's huge. Absolutely huge news. That's exciting. I mean, we couldn't even have a kicker stand up in the game yesterday. First opening kickoff, he fell.
Yeah, he fell. I don't remember where we were at.
I was talking about Tua still. I mean, he's played in 1/4 quarter so far this season. He has passed for 2,066 yards, 27 touchdowns passing, 2 touchdowns rushing, and his completion percentage is over 70%. It's unbelievable.
How scary is it that Alabama's always good without a quarterback, and now they have a quarterback? They're scary good.
27 touchdowns right now. 27.
Oh, I know.
29 if we count his rushing.
I know. So speaking of coaches that got fired, DJ Durkin officially out in Maryland. Thank God.
Great move. Great move by the university.
No one's surprised. I don't know how they reinstated him.
It was a money thing.
But I know. But seriously, he had a kid die on his watch.
They still have to prove that they fired him for good cause. Otherwise, he's owed, I don't remember how many millions of dollars. Which, whatever he's owed, just pay it to him and get it over with and start over fresh. That team it's a mess right now. The program's a mess. The school's got a lot of cleanup to do. These student athletes have really, I don't know what they're playing for right now. They're mad at each other. They're mad at the program. They're mad at their coaching staff. They've got a lot of ground to make up in the next few years. We've seen scandals rock college football programs in the past and kind of recent past too. And it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort and energy from both the coaching staff, the students, and the college itself to make up lost ground. So I want to see the Big Ten do well. I want to see Maryland be able to bounce back from this, but who knows how long it's going to take.
Yeah, it's going to take something before he bounces back completely. They do. Anyways, I think he's done as a coach. But
if I offered you $127,500,000, would you take it?
Yep.
What if I said you can make that money by throwing 61 interceptions and having a 34-48-1 record over 83 games?
Yep.
So basically, here's a whole bunch of money to suck.
And my name is not Sam Bradford.
Your name is not Sam Bradford. Arizona Cardinals released Sam Bradford. His career earnings were $127,500,000 over 83 games. He threw 103 touchdowns and 61 interceptions, and his teams went 34-48-1 in those games. He has been a bust, to say the least. Big bust.
One of the worst busts besides Jamarcus Russell in the history of the NFL.
Who reportedly, it came out earlier this week, never watched game tapes. And the coaching staff found this out because they gave him blank tapes and asked him about the blitz packages that the opposing teams that they were about to play were setting up. And he made something up every time because he didn't watch tapes because they were blank.
Ha! Caught you.
He sucked.
Lions work out Brandon Marshall in the wake of the Tate trade. I like the move. We will touch on the Tate trade later in this half. It will be on Facebook, and I'm very livid about people.
Also news that came out, the New Orleans Saints are reportedly working out Dez Bryant.
Oh, that's scary.
Big move right there.
That's scary.
That just came out not that long ago.
Oh, gosh. More breaking news.
More breaking news here in the Matt Musz Show.
Le'Veon Bell is still a no-show with the Steelers. He has to show up, I believe it is next Monday to officially count for the season. We'll see what happens, but he did tweet out, "Farewell, Miami."
Let's do what everybody else does and read way too far into a tweet.
Yeah.
I think that he's getting ready to leave Miami.
No.
I'm guessing that's where he was like hanging out for the last 8 weeks, 10 weeks.
Maybe he's going to Orlando.
Ooh, family trip.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
This is great time to go to Orlando.
No one's there.
Exactly. Huh. Well, I guess we'll see, Le'Veon. We will see. Earlier today, the MLB announced award finalists for some of the bigger awards that get announced in the end of the season. Cy Young Award, NL, the 3 finalists finalists are Jacob deGrom with the Mets, Max Scherzer, former Tiger, now with the Nationals, and Aaron Nola with Phillies. AL Cy Young finalists, but by the way, we said this before, DeGrom's my absolute winner for that. He was amazing, absolutely amazing this year.
Amazing.
AL Cy Young finalist Blake Snell from Tampa Bay, Justin Verlander, another former Tiger with Houston, and Corey Kluber from Cleveland. I think Snell deserves it. Stats-wise, he had the best season out of those three pitchers, and nobody talked about him until towards the end of the season. He's young. He's good. I think he deserves it, but I don't get to choose that. MVP finalists for the NL, Christian Yelich with Milwaukee, my absolute favorite to win. Javi Baez from Chicago Cubs, and Nolan Arenado from Colorado. All three candidates, but give it to Yelich. His second half was unreal, absolutely unreal. That's honestly the only reason he's in contention is the second half of the season. And then the AL, we got Mookie Betts, who I think is going to win it from Boston. He had a great season. Mike Trout, who hopefully for LA's sake stays with the Angels next season. And Jose Ramirez with Cleveland. Out of those four categories, we got 12 phenomenal players. It was a great season. I hope my picks win it. It's good to see two former Tigers on that list with many other ones that couldn't have been far off. So, I already missed baseball, miss softball. I'm ready for winter to be done. Come on, spring.
Woo! FanDuel and the New Jersey Devils have struck a deal for sports betting in the NHL and is moving forward with it. With FanDuel, daily sports company, booked the NHL and the New Jersey Devils franchise for betting in fantasy sports play. So, again, another move in the world of gambling, sports gambling. Again, I will stand by this and say it's in the right direction because you can tax hell out of it. But one team falls, everyone's going to follow, especially once they start making a ton of money.
I thought this was going to come to baseball a lot sooner than it came to hockey. Because with baseball, you can do everything. You can bet on the next pitch.
Exactly.
And bet that it's going to be a ball or a strike, or it's going to be hit, or it's going to be an out, whatever it might be. And you can bet on outcomes of innings, outcomes of games, how many pitches somebody's going to pitch. I mean, it's such a... People say baseball is a slow-paced game because there's so much downtime between pitches, between plays. It gives an opportunity. If you're able to bet inside the stadium, it gives an opportunity for people just to come in there just to bet and watch their bets unfold in live time. It's kind of like horse racing in a way. I mean, if you put 200 different dollar wagers on different things that happen in the game, you could come out ahead a lot, or you could lose $200. I think it'd be pretty interesting.
Me too.
I would go to a ball game with $100 and bet on weird stuff.
It'll happen eventually. Just a matter of time now.
Let's you and I started, huh?
Sounds good. We can work this out.
Get me onto something. Trademark. Anybody that's smarter than us.
Got that.
Just give us a phone call.
Help.
WNBA. Big news coming out of the WNBA. The players opt out of the current CBA deal. What's your thoughts on this?
I like it. It's not going to affect this upcoming season. It'll take place, and a deal needs to be in place by 2020 before any lockout would happen. But the WNBA Players Association, Bianca Oju Mike, I'm sorry I butchered that.
Yeah, totally the name right there.
Anyways,
totally
she said, this is not just about business. This is deeply personal. This is about the kind of world we want to live in. And I want young female athletes to dream about playing in a vibrant and thriving WNBA. And I want them to dream of having it all. This is just proving the pay structure between the NBA, the WNBA, and now the G League coming out, where a G League high school senior can make $150,000, which is more than the max salary of a WNBA player. I'm all for women's rights. I agree with what they're doing. I wish them the best and hope they get a deal done and hope they can start making a lot more money than what they are.
I hope they figure it out, but at the end of the day, a lot of this money comes from your fan base and the sponsorships that come along with that. They obviously need to make more than what they're making as professional athletes, but where's the money going to come from? I mean, that's... there's a lot of avenues that the NBA has to gain more revenue that the WNBA never will have, unfortunately.
Right.
So
I understand that, and I think that I'm not saying that you're going to start seeing them make $20 million a year by 2020, but
which I think is way too much, but that's what the NBA makes.
But I think that this may at least start pushing the envelope of how much are we making, how can we use our resources and our sponsorships, and what are we getting the most that we can out of what's available, I guess. So I like it. I understand they're not going to make millions and millions of dollars, but I like that they're pushing the envelope and they're trying to say, hey, there's these guys over here making 20, 30 million a year, and we can't even scrape in 150 grand.
True.
So
good point.
We'll see what happens. Booger.
Back to my flying booger laughing earlier.
Booger McFarland. So any Monday Night Football fan has been watching games, seen Booger on the sidelines, propped up like 10, 15 feet in the air.
On this
computer
platform thing.
And he's annoying spectators that are at the Monday Night Football games. I get it. But ESPN has a ton of money and they can do whatever they want. And you're not going to go to the game just because Booger's there.
Booger's not adding anything to the game.
No.
Not a damn thing. And we have to watch him float around in this stupid little cart.
Instead of Sky Cam, you'll see Sky Boogers. A 6-foot, 300-pound man is going to be hanging over your quarterback. Oh, right over here over Dak Prescott.
Oh, and Tom Brady broke his neck because a booger fell on him. Tom Brady's career is done because Booger McFarland snapped his neck.
Apparently our wires weren't strong enough there. Everything about Monday Night Football on the broadcast sucks. I hate it. They need to bring Gruden back. Raiders, please fire him.
Gruden is a genius.
He is. When it comes to Monday Night Football.
I think he's secretly a genius coach.
I
know of somebody that agrees with me.
I'm sure people do. I'm interested to see what happens in the next couple of years. Because obviously you don't give someone a 10-year, $100 million contract and then 2 years into it, fire them.
Playoff bound, I'm telling you.
You're in it for the long haul. I think they'll be okay.
Oh, they will be.
It's something. Yeah.
We will, once we get our formatting figured out, we'll be releasing a very intricate article written by a fan of ours.
Yes, we will.
Stating how Oakland is going to be a playoff contending team sooner than you think.
I have not read it yet because I opened it this morning. It was really long and had a lot of work to do. Why is that funny? College basketball officially tips off.
This makes me laugh when you have work to do.
Right. College basketball tips off tomorrow at the State Farms Champions Classic at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indy. Number 10 Duke takes on number 1 Kansas, and number 10 MSU takes on number 1 Kansas, and number 4 Duke takes on number 2 Kentucky. Bracketology has already been released.
I saw that way too early. I hate when they do that.
Yeah, I get the top 25. I like that the college football playoff does it just a couple weeks before, like 1 month and a half, 2 months before the final rankings. I think if they want to do it then like they used to, great. They're just trying to get people to talk about them. And, hey, not many people pay attention to regular season college basketball. I know they're just trying to get another revenue or another stream to get talked about. But they released odds of almost 100 teams. At the very bottom here is Wake Forest.
And these
at 1,000 to 1.
And these odds to win?
Odds to win the national championship. And CMU, my Chippewas, are not even listed.
They're not one of the top 100 teams in the nation, is what you're telling me.
Nope, they are not. I was just looking for it, and they are not, unfortunately.
Weird.
Now,
I can't imagine that. You know, everybody's rushing to go to Central Michigan University to play basketball.
Where's SVSU? Right. Oh, that's right.
Well, I didn't choose to go there. They were just really cheap.
Duke has the best title odds of 4 to 1. Kansas 6 to 1. Kentucky 6 to 1. North Carolina 8 to 1.
Ugh.
Gonzaga 10 to 1. Nevada 12 to 1, and so on and so forth. MSU's in there at 25 to 1. Let's see if I can find Michigan real fast. Oh, yeah, 40 to 1.
40 to 1. All right.
So, I don't know.
Michigan's got a lot of holes to fill this year.
Yes, they do.
They lost some key players from last season, and I think they're still going to be good. But I mean, they lost a huge leader in Mo Wagner, so let's see what they can produce this season.
All right. That's our basketball. You good?
That's our basketball.
Okay.
I can be done with that.
We're going to make this
I'm
quick
excited.
because we're running a little late. Golden Tate got flipping traded to the Eagles for a third-round draft pick. Golden Tate, 30 years old, declined an extension offer from the Lions. Okay?
Keep going. I know you got a lot written down.
I got
there.
a lot, baby. I can go all day with this. Never more than 6 touchdowns a year, 1,000 yards in 3 or 4 seasons, which is good. 90 receptions in every season, which is good. But still, no more than 6 touchdowns. The 2018 season, 44 receptions, 517 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's on pace for 90, 1,006. That's an average year for him. Granted, it's good, but I'm just telling you what he's on pace for. Still, the 6 touchdowns is the key. Only 6. He's had 1 good game. That was at Dallas. 8 receptions, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and the Lions lost. His best game, the Lions lost. Okay? He right now is under contract, $8 million for the cap hit. And he's going to be looking for a big contract coming the offseason. Jarvis Landry just signed a 5-year, $75 million deal with worse stats. Granted, he's younger, but with worse stats than Tate. Similar, but still a little worse. $15 million a year. He's going to be looking for 15 to 17 a year, guaranteed. Galladay, who's 24, 30 receptions, 477 yards, and 3 touchdowns so far. This is before they blotched the game against Minnesota. And he's under $1 million through 2020.
Nobody scored a touchdown from the Lions against Minnesota. Go Prater, baby.
Yards and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure within 50 yards and 10 receptions and the same amount of touchdowns. Marvin Jones Jr., 26 receptions, 387 yards, 5 touchdowns. More touchdowns. $6 million, $9 million, $9 million through 2020. We got a third-round draft pick. Terrell Owens, Jason Taylor, Jason Witten, Steve Smith, Hines Ward, Teddy Bruschi, Russell Wilson, Kenny Galladay were all taken in the third round. Stop being upset about it. We would have lost Golden Tate in the offseason because we didn't sign him to an extension, and the NFL would have been like, here's a compensatory pick in the 5th round in 2020. Instead, we got a third-round pick in 2019. If we beat Seattle, this is going 2 weeks ago now, I bet he stays. But he's not re-signing. You're not going to re-sign him for that amount of money. So we got something for him. The rest, they're not making the playoffs, guys. So many people, well, they're trying to win and they're trying to make the playoffs. They were never making the playoffs. Before this loss to Minnesota, they'd have to go 7-2 to get 10 wins. And that means Minnesota is only getting 9 wins because if Minnesota and Green Bay each get 10 wins, guess what they have? A stupid freaking tie, which puts the tiebreaker in their favor, even if we beat them twice. So, to guarantee an NFC North win, you got to get 11 wins if Green Bay and Minnesota get 10. So, going 7-2 in the final 9 games was never on the table. You're going to beat Minnesota in Minnesota? Obviously not. Golden Tate was not going to have you win that game. You're going to go to Chicago? Good freaking luck. Rams? Yeah. I'll be happy if you put up a freaking field goal. Cardinals? Okay. If you don't beat the Cardinals, that sucks, but let's be real, you probably won't because you got to travel to Arizona. Bills? No one knows what's going on with the Bills. They'll probably throw tables at the Lions and jump on them or something. I don't know. And then you have to host the Vikings and go to Green Bay in Week 17. You're not winning the division. You're not making the playoffs. You guys suck. Let's go for 2019.
Okay. Coming up, we have the Beer of the Podcast. We talk about the weekend in football, give you your thoughts on the Lions' dismal season, which I think we kind of started to get into already, and get some in-depth picks from Quap.
Oh, yes. It's Beer the Podcast time. And we got a special treat for you today, actually.
I mean, you're not drinking it, so it's not really a treat for you. It's more of a treat for us to drink and tell you all about it and make you want some.
Beer the Podcast, we went with Blake's Beard Bender.
Not a beer.
Not a beer. This is a dry cider. fermented in oak. It's made dry cider, so it's 50% less sugar, which is a reason that I love it. Is you don't gotta brush your teeth when you're done drinking it.
You should always brush your teeth anyway, Adam.
Well, yeah, but you don't feel like you have to because they're not coated in sugar. It's gonna be the Muse show in a little bit.
Well, if you keep practicing improper hygiene, maybe I'll just leave of my own accord.
Right. 6.2 grams of sugar, 9.2 carbs, 155 calories. This is kind of their cider they go after all the health freaks and stuff with. Not the healthiest thing, but in the grand scheme of all the other ciders out there, it's up there. 6.5% available year-round. What do you think?
This time, like all the other times I've had it, enjoy it thoroughly. It's delicious. It is cider season as we come into the fall months. I love it.
Do you know, you probably do because I told you, the number one cider selling month of the year?
No, please do tell me.
Thanks for entertaining me and making me feel smart. It's actually July.
Wow. Why is that?
It's because it's nice and refreshing and a different take and not just lemon juice like all the beers are.
Huh.
Or super hoppy.
Very interesting. What a concept.
Thanks, man. You just made me feel so good. Don't let that bird hit you in the face. All right, week 10 of the college football season has come and gone. A lot of very good games. Michigan put a stomping on Penn State. Alabama then stomped LSU, which I thought was insane to see them shut out LSU.
But Tua had to play all 4 quarters.
I know, right? MSU is officially bowl eligible.
So I am wearing my jersey.
After a while, a couple games there looked like they may not have been. Quap, who's coming on later to do our NFL picks for the week, texted me before the Notre Dame Northwestern game and said Notre Dame would win 40-23. It was actual 31-21, so not too bad. But Notre Dame again in the fourth quarter kind of slowed down a little bit, and Northwestern started coming back, but they were able to pull away.
That's going to be their Achilles heel.
But they have to win out to make the playoff. They have a good shot at doing it. They have a couple scary teams, though, because Florida State historically is not bad, but this year they are. Syracuse is playing a lot better than they ever have, and that USC Notre Dame game is always a good one, run for the money. It's a rivalry game. Like everyone knows about rivalries. Every team plays harder. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to sit here and predict radio or predict college football because that's not what we do. Right?
No. We try. No, we do not.
We do not. Because you heard all the gas bags earlier today talk about it. But Notre Dame's got to win out. They got work to do.
Couple big upsets, though, that happened over the weekend. Florida was upset by Mizzou, University of Missouri, 38-17. Wasn't even close. At Florida, even, which is amazing to see. Purdue with another upset of a ranked opponent. Purdue beat Iowa 38-36. Purdue is on a pretty good tear as of late.
Purdue's playing some good ball this year. I'm happy for them. They're obviously a Big Ten school. I'd like to see them all be successful. But, yeah, I mean, I'm pleasantly shocked with how they've been playing this year.
And then Arizona State upset Utah 38-20, which Utah, they were ranked 15. I think that was a little high, but based on their strength of schedule and their record, I mean, they deserved it apparently. But go AZ State.
Talk about upsets. Eastern Michigan University beat the Central Michigan Chippewas.
Who dat?
The Emus.
Eastern Michigan Emus?
No, they're Eagles, but it's EMU.
I know. I can spell.
Our offense looked horrible, but our defense, I went in and found these numbers. We have the 33rd ranked defense in the country, 101st rushing defense in the country. We have the third best passing defense in the country, led by junior Sean Bunting and Xavier Crawford. Look for those guys in the NFL soon.
Hold on now. What's the rushing defense?
101.
And passing is third?
Third.
And they're what overall?
33.
That math doesn't add up, but okay.
It's based on yards.
I know. I know. I was making a joke. Shut up, Adam.
I forgot to laugh.
Like every other time.
Exactly. No, it was a good Saturday. Obviously, you didn't watch all the games, but
No, I was picking up all the leaves, and then while I was picking up the leaves, the wind was blowing, so there was just more leaves.
that's the most frustrating thing ever. You're picking up leaves, and you're blowing them one way, or picking them up one way, and the wind comes, and you're like, you mother effer. Now I have to do it again.
I looked up in the tree when I was almost done, and there was maybe half my leaves I picked up. It took me all day to pick up half my leaves. It's depressing.
I hate leaves.
I might just burn my trees down.
I don't mind yard work. I despise leaves.
Me too. A lot.
Me too.
Stupid leaves. I'm sad.
Drink your
I
cider.
was having a good time. Just a depressed little boy.
So first college football poll came out. Week 1, here we go. Alabama, Clemson, LSU, Notre Dame, Michigan, Georgia, Oklahoma, Washington State round out the top 8. They come out again tomorrow, which was actually yesterday. This is why we need to stop doing our show on Mondays.
All the good things happen on Tuesday.
Right. Apparently Tuesday nights when we have to do our show. Maybe we'll think about that for next year. So what do you think now, looking at, might as well give us our projected rankings. First, do you have last week's what you projected on you? You know?
I don't know where I put them.
Okay.
Put me on the spot
I think
like this.
you went Bama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan. I went Clemson,
Yes.
Bama, Notre Dame, Michigan. Obviously, Clemson, Bama, Notre Dame were all in there. Michigan was not. LSU took the spot, which I guess is understood. So who are you taking top 4 this week?
I am sticking with what I said last week.
Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan.
Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan. And Michigan, the ball's in their court, and they need all the stars to align. But I think they deserve to be there in the way that they are playing. The strength of schedule that they have, I mean, it all lines up for them that they deserve to be in the playoffs.
Yep.
Notre Dame keeps winning. That looks good for them. The teams that they beat, they keep winning. That looks good for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that Ohio State needs to win out until they play Michigan.
Yeah.
All the teams above Michigan, being Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, need to win out. And Michigan should be in no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
agree.
it's getting to the conference championship game is going to be tougher than winning the conference championship game for Michigan.
Correct. It's all going to come down. Hopefully, they got Rutgers and Indiana, and then the Ohio State game.
That Ohio State game's key.
Yeah, and that's everyone's gonna be watching.
This game carries more weight than I think it has in the last 5 or 6 years.
It might even be longer than that. But yeah, I'm gonna just because I want to be different. I'm gonna say Bama,
Yeah, be different.
Clemson, Michigan, Notre Dame, just because Notre Dame kind of didn't blow Northwestern out of the water, and Michigan just ran up the score on Maryland.
But Notre Dame beat Michigan.
I know, but it's not about what happened in the past. It's what's happening right now.
Well, right now, it's just 2 idiots sitting in your basement talking about something they don't actually know anything about.
Drinking some yummy cider.
Some yummy cider. Good job, all you Blake's brethren. You friendly people at the orchard making your delicious
They are so friendly.
nectar of the apples.
Nectar of the apples.
That'd be a good name for a cider. Apple nectar.
Apple nectar.
Yeah, honey cider.
Honey cider. Apple nectar.
I'll stab you with this pen.
So, the worst game of probably the season happened on Thursday. Oakland at San Fran.
Hey, everybody, we switched to the NFL.
Yeah. Seamless transitions. The music started a little before we got going. Can you not hear?
I cannot hear it.
Oh, my God. Can you hear it now?
Good.
Am I blowing your eardrums out yet?
Huh? No, I'm just kidding. We're good.
All right. Can you hear it now?
Yes, yeah, we're good.
All right. Anyways, who the hell is Nick Mullins?
CJ Beathard is a nobody. He had, I don't know, like a little painful blister in his finger or something like that, and he couldn't play.
From ringing bells at the Vegas.
Ringing
Golden Knights.
Vegas bells. Nick Mullins, he, if I'm not mistaken, set the record for QBR by a rookie in a game.
I believe so. 151.9. He's undrafted out of southern Mississippi. He's 23 years old, and he went 16 for 22 for 262 and 3 touchdowns.
I mean, he's probably going to be their starter the rest of the season, but don't all you fantasy owners going and picking him up yet. I mean, he had his rookie debut. He's going to not do that forever.
No, I know. I mean, you're playing the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah. And on top of that, I mean, we got Jimmy G is going to come back next year.
Exactly. 22 points in fantasy this week. That's not bad. I don't know anyone who owned him.
He's probably the best scoring player available on everybody's league.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I hate fantasy football.
New York Giants this week on Monday night. That could be a good game. At Tampa Bay. He's got potential to put a couple together. I think it was
when you're
Seattle,
playing
Denver,
the worst
Seattle,
defenses
Chicago,
in the league.
Yeah, then they're going to lose the last 5, so it doesn't matter.
Good for you, Nick.
Keep it up.
We're proud of you.
Keep it up.
It's a fun part of life when you realize that these athletes that are making millions of dollars, performing very well, are younger than you. Remember when I hit that? Remember hitting that day?
Yeah.
I was watching a baseball game, and I can't remember what player it was, but it was a pitcher just got pulled up from AAA. He was throwing 98 miles an hour with a two-seam fastball and a slider that cut down at about 89. It made people look silly.
You know what's worse?
And he was 20.
You know what's worse than that? How old are you? 27?
Yes.
So you had to think about it. That's cool. I just turned 30 this past summer. The scariest thing is all the talk about NFL running backs going bad at 30. And like you see someone at 32 and like, oh, that's old. I'm like, I'm 30. I'm not old. Am I?
No, what's really bad is they go bad at 30. We were never good.
Right? I'm still in my prime, baby.
That's not good. If this is your prime, I feel bad for you and your family in the future.
I'm past my prime, dude. I cannot drink like I used to. I have been getting some bad hangovers to the point I stopped drinking.
I only drink 12 or 13 beers a night. I mean,
I never drink that much
anymore.
Rams lost a thriller to the Saints.
That was a great game.
That was a great game.
Fantastic game to watch. Drew Brees this is their year. I think the Saints have a very good chance of making the Super Bowl the way that they're playing. Their defense has not been exceptional, and it's been a shootout almost every single game. But he's good. Drew Brees is good. Indiana had the first loss of the season to the Rams, who is supposed to be the best team in the league. They've won 7 games in a row. The Saints have.
How did they lose to the Bucs at home in week 1?
Fitz magic, baby.
Fitz magic. That little dude. He ruins everything.
I bet. That's fine.
So, we both picked the Saints to win the division. You picked them to win the conference. But you picked them to lose to the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
I know.
But we'll see what happens. I don't know.
They're good. I'd like to see them win. I like Drew Brees a lot more than I like Tom Brady.
Yeah. I don't like Tom Brady at all.
Yeah, Tom Brady makes my skin crawl.
Who's your shoe-in for NFL MVP?
Why did you read it that way?
So I'll try to make it out in my head, and then I'm like, shoe MVP, huh? But I get it. Who do you think is going to win MVP?
Yes.
Oh. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a shoe-in?
No.
Easy? Okay. Who do you got? Well, you wrote the question. I thought you
I
had
know
someone.
it, but I just don't like how you approached the question.
Sorry. Why don't you? Let's start over. Scratch. Rewind. You started.
All right, so it's been an exciting season so far in the NFL. And as we come to the end of the season, we're going to have people start talking about who's going to be MVP of the league. Who's your shoe-in for this year's MVP?
I don't think there is a shoe-in for MVP this year. I have a good friend, Matt.
Pat Mahomes.
Really?
Yes.
Pat Mahomes.
I think Pat Mahomes is going to be the MVP. Nope. Yeah. I think Pat Mahomes is going to be
so
the
he's
MVP.
Not a shoo-in, though.
No, he is.
Oh, okay.
Because he has made this Chiefs team one of the best teams in the league himself.
Yes.
Without him on that team, they wouldn't be anywhere near what they are right now. The only person I can say would be in contention with him, actually there's two people that I can think of. It'd be Drew Brees and Todd Gurley.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees, the only reason that I would say that is because the season he's having is record-breaking. It's a great year, but he's surrounded by a pretty good team this year offensively. I mean, he's a fantastic quarterback, not taking anything away from him, but he's got a pretty good team around him. And Todd Gurley has had more touchdowns so far this year than anybody. I mean, he's doing an outstanding job in the backfield. But Pat Mahomes has single-handedly transformed this Kansas City Chiefs team.
Do you think it's in part of their easy schedule? They did beat the Chargers and the Steelers early on. And they go 49ers, Broncos, Jags. They lost to the Patriots, Bengals, Broncos, Browns, Cardinals, Raiders, Seahawks, Raiders still left to go.
No,
Okay.
because even the game against New England, he had a fantastic game. He had, 4 touchdowns in that game?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's great. He is great. I think
That's a great argument.
I mean, he is. I mean,
No, I know. He's having a great season. I think
Better yet, Andy Reid wins MVP.
Yeah. Trading Alex Smith and
MVF, most valuable fatty.
MVW, most valuable Waffle House guy.
Wouldn't that be MVWHG?
Well, I'm trying to keep it 3 letters, so it's all one word.
Most valuable Waffle House guy.
Exactly. I'm gonna. So I think there's 3 people you can really think of. You can go Pat Mahomes. I'm writing it down here.
My homie.
Drew Brees.
Breezy peasy.
That's spelled wrong. And Todd Gurley.
Gurley man.
And I think you you gotta put the GOAT in there. Bah. All right. I'm going Todd Gurley.
Okay.
His regular season is one of the best of all time. He currently has 868 yards, averaging just under 5 yards a carry.
Sounds like my stats.
Yeah, totally. 12 touchdowns. He adds on 362
Should
yards
have 13.
receiving. Right. Yeah, he should. 332 yards receiving. Averages almost 10 yards of reception. 10 touchdowns there. Only lost 1 fumble.
Good.
He's good. He's having a great year. I understand, though, like the rest of his team is really, really good. He's got a really good defense that he plays with, too. But he's going to be my guy. I've always loved Todd Gurley right from the start, even when he was in college at Georgia. But I don't know. I man
Woof,
crush
woof.
on him.
Bulldog. You would have a man crush on him.
Him and Antonio Brown. Aren't you shocked I didn't pick Antonio Brown to be NFL MVP?
Well, he doesn't deserve to be NFL MVP.
I know, but
I would have came across this table and he'd punch you in the throat if you'd have said Antonio Brown deserved to be the NFL MVP. Not violence, just truth bombs.
all right,
Truth punches.
truth punches.
Slaps to the face.
The Lions fired Joe Marciano. Woohoo! After a horrible special teams performance this past weekend.
This past entire season.
Yeah. Who do you think they got to get rid of Cooter? I don't know. They're a stagnant offense. I know their plays before they run them. I know the first play of every series is going to be a run.
Yep.
I know the second that who's our third string running back? What's his face? You got nothing?
Amir Abdullah is their third string running back.
Is it? I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, every time he's in, they're going to throw to him, or at least it's going to be a pass play because they're not going to give him the ball to run. Theo Riddick. Theo Riddick is who I was thinking of.
Okay.
When he goes in, they're going to pass the ball. They're not going to run the ball at all. I don't know. They use LeGarrette Blount too much. I understand they want to use him in short yardage situations, but they got to lean on Kerryon Johnson. I think he's got to go.
I had somebody yesterday actually, discuss with me the idea of getting rid of Matt Stafford, which,
Okay.
on one hand, I can see it because it would help us start over fresh.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I can't think of a time in my lifetime where a team willingly traded away a franchise quarterback.
Right.
Yes, we could probably get 2, maybe 3 first-round picks for him. But to do that, I mean, that would be a huge slap in the face to the NFL, or not the NFL fan base, the Lions fan base. Like, yeah, I know we strung you along for all this time, but now we're going to get rid of this guy that we just gave a whole bunch of money to.
Right.
And hopefully get some draft picks in return. Also, we're going to give him to a team that we're going to have to play, if not once every year, once every other year. And he's probably going to beat up on us because he knows how our team operates.
Right.
Because he is a good quarterback. He's made quite a few mistakes these last few weeks, but he is a good quarterback.
Right.
But there's so much money tied up in him, so much investment tied up in him, that if we did get rid of him, it would be something unheard of that's never happened before. Mm-hmm. But it'd be typical Lions to do something like that.
If they did, I'm
obviously Cooter would go when he goes, but
I'm a fan of Stafford. But if they did decide to trade him, cut him, I don't know. One, no one's taking that contract, so that most likely will not happen. But
Jacksonville would.
They had too much tied up in their defense, though. Can they afford him?
I bet you they'd find a way.
But then we'd have to take Bortles because they'd have to get rid of that contract.
I don't think we would take Bortles. I think we'd be better off with whoever we have as a
TJ Yeldon.
What? No, that's a running back.
I know. I'm just saying they don't have much to offer.
No, just give us draft picks.
Okay. Anyways,
we don't need another running back.
I know.
We have 6.
I know. And we still suck.
We suck again.
Jackass. No, I can see them doing it. I like Stafford.
I mean, maybe I'm in the wrong. Can you ever think of a time where
No.
a team gave up their franchise player?
No.
Especially a quarterback.
No. Especially a quarterback with Stafford's capabilities. Cause
I mean, it's one thing if his contract was up. I mean,
Yeah.
there's, 5 years left in his contract?
Yeah, I think he's got 4 left after this. But, yeah, if it's the end of it'd be a Golden Tate thing. At the end of the contract, I'll just part ways with them and move on. I get that completely.
Yep.
But I can see him going, but at the same time I can't. And I always look back and be like, okay, what are you going to get? You're going to set yourself back 3-4 years. You don't know if you're going to get a franchise quarterback. He still has 7-8 years of good football left in him. I think you have to go to the top and go after Cooter.
Chop the head off the snake?
Yep.
All right. Jim Bob Cooter doesn't have the best name in all of coaching, though.
No. Yeah, he does.
I look at him and I want him to be missing like 8 teeth and have a lazy eye and be married to his sister, but
long beard.
he's not.
Gray. Yeah. Kelly Stafford, Matt Stafford's wife, sound off on fans on social media today. Via Snapchat, she said, "It's funny to me how media and some fans think they know either the game or how the game of football is played better than the coaches and players do who do it professionally. There's a reason they are employed to do this, and you are not. If you think you can do it better, give it a try. But until then, please just shut the hell up." Your husband... I don't
was sacked 10 times yesterday.
Right. I don't want to sound mad. I like the Staffords. I like Kelly Stafford. I think I like her presence on social media and everything. But one, your husband is supposed to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He's on a team that's struggling. He had a bad game. You're in the spotlight because you're on social media and you're going to listen to all this stuff. It's okay. People are going to talk. You don't got to listen to them.
True.
But I understand, too, where she's coming from. Hey, you don't know how to coach and whatnot, because I don't, and I'm an armchair quarterback, but I'll own that.
Good. At least you'll own it.
But I didn't really talk bad about the Lions.
The Minnesota Vikings either set or tied a franchise record yesterday.
I think they said it.
10 sacks.
Yeah.
The Lions had given up 13 sacks coming into that game. They gave up 10 yesterday.
And of those 10...
10 sacks.
Jeez.
Ridiculous.
Of those 10, I'll blame 3 or 4 on Stafford for not getting rid of the ball or moving out of the pocket. But the other 6 or 7, those are on the offensive line, man. You gotta protect the quarterback if you want to be successful in this league.
That was terrible. I mean, even yesterday when I was watching the Saints play, Mark Ingram came back from his suspension, was supposed to jump right back in, but Kamara's having a great season. Mark Ingram came into the game one play, protected Drew Brees and a touchdown pass by upending a defensive end. He went in there as a blocking back. He's supposed to be a star player. Went in as a blocking back, upended a defensive end.
Exactly.
Helped him score a touchdown.
Yeah, they got to keep someone back there, add a tight end to the mix or something. You got to figure that out.
Change up your blocking schemes.
Yeah.
Change something up. I mean, when you're getting sacked 10 times. Yeah, Minnesota's got a good defense. Honestly, it was good to see that defense be back in action.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were supposed to be all year. It sucked it came against the Lions. But do something different.
Yeah.
If he gets sacked 5 times, you think by the 5th time you'd figure out what the hell's going wrong and be able to fix it the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, no, this head coach we have that's supposed to be defensive-minded is not conversing with his defensive coordinator or his offensive coordinator. Say, hey, I know what they're doing. I can see what they're doing. Yeah. This is how we're going to prevent it.
Exactly. All comes back to the fact that Jim Bob Cooter should lose his job.
Jim Bob fired.
Oh!
That was stupid.
You want to bring Mark on?
Yeah, let's talk to Mark.
All right, we're here with Mark Quap, good friend of both of ours. What's up, buddy?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just enjoying this Monday night football game.
This is a lot closer than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're also talking about Dallas, who, I don't know why people like him, and Tennessee's terrible. I mean, Mariota, he's kind of a joke.
Yep.
But I mean, are you guys watching this game at all, or just?
Yeah, we have it on in the studio.
Yeah,
in the studio,
aka the basement. All right, let's get started with our picks. Thursday night, Carolina at Pittsburgh. Who you got?
You know, that one was a little bit tough, but I think I'm gonna go with Panthers. I think Panthers take this one. They got a stout defense. Carolina's actually 4-1 against the spread in the last 6 games. And this game could turn to shootout if Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster show up. But, I mean, McCaffrey's been doing big things lately out of the backfield. Newton's been playing well. You got to take him.
Cam Newton. I mean, that's all I need to say. Cam Newton is going to destroy Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense has been very subpar so far this season. And Carolina's going to take it to him.
Plus, I mean, Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore are starting to perform. I mean, now he's got people to throw to. He's got a running back. They got it going right now.
Absolutely. Adam disagrees.
Yeah, of course I disagree, man. Come on, the Steelers are going to win.
Antonio Brown plays for Pittsburgh.
Hey, I love Antonio Brown. I really do, but come on. I mean, right now.
I don't think anybody loves Antonio Brown as much as Adam does.
I'm going to write it down right now. AB, Thursday night, he's going to go off for $164, 3 touchdowns. He already leads the league in touchdowns, so he's going to lead the league by more.
That is not going to happen.
Yeah, it is. Watch.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's too powerful, even with James Conner as a running back. Carolina's not that good.
Okay.
They're going to control time possession.
No. Pittsburgh.
Right, we'll see. I can't wait to prove you wrong.
Chargers at Oakland.
Okay, that's a joke game right there. I think Gruden needs to go back to announcing. And, I mean, Chargers,
I want to bring them on
they're favored by 10 points.
Chargers are going to run away with this game.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to have as good a season they're having. They're having a fantastic year. They're going to destroy Oakland. Not even close.
I thought Oakland would be better, but then they decided to trade everyone away that was decent.
Will be better. Just
they
not
will.
Yet.
Not now.
Yeah, they're on like the 5-year plan.
Gruden's
I mean, I think you got to give this one to old man Phil too. I mean, Phillip Rivers. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy consistently chucks the rock, and he can throw it downfield. There's no way Oakland's going to stop him.
No shot. Dallas at Philly.
Whew, that one got a little tougher. but I'm going with my gut on this one. Eagles, I mean, after watching Dallas tonight, Cooper's not doing a whole lot. I mean, he's 3 for 30 with a touchdown right now. Wentz with Ertz, stopping that's pretty tough, and Dallas does not stop tight ends very well. Dallas is also 0-5 when they're a 6-point underdog. I mean, it's since 2016, so I just don't see a lot going on here.
That's great to know. Want to know where you found that stat at? That's pretty impressive.
It's actually from CBS Sports.
I thought you were going to say the Matt Musz show.
I'm going with Philly as well. They're at home. They get a new offensive weapon in Golden Tate. And Dallas, I honestly was thinking Dallas until, like you said, watching them tonight in Monday Night Football, they look terrible. They should not have this close to a game against the Titans, but they are.
Yeah, coming off a bye, Golden Tate, Carson Wentz has a new toy to play with. At home, under the lights, I got to take Philly. There's no way they don't win this game. Giants at the 49ers.
This one was tough.
Game.
I did a little looking into this one because I got curious. Like, what's this game going to be like? And see the spread's 2.5 points. It's actually favoring the 49ers. But I mean, I think Eli and the Giants got it. As much as I hate Eli Manning, I think he's going to throw the football a lot in that game, and I think that between Saquon and OBJ, I think they're gonna take it. I don't know about much though, unless your boy Nick Mullins comes in, because that guy killed it last game.
No way Mullins is going to have as good as a game as he did last game. Probably never again is he going to have a game like he did last week. But
no, I don't think so. I mean, but the Giants?
True. I mean, the Giants do not have a defense at all. They traded away Eli Apple. They have 2.5 offensive weapons in Odell, Saquon, and then they got Sterling Shepard. So I think the Giants will take it just by that. I mean, you have to really suck as a quarterback not to be able to get it to any of those three guys. And Manning almost sucks that bad. He is the worst Manning. We've discussed this before. But I think he's going to be able to throw a few up over San Francisco's D-backs. So, New York, as much as it hurts to say.
Yeah, it was a toss-up, and then the way Mullins went off on Thursday, I would just start thinking, there's no way he's doing that again. And C.J. Beathard isn't a good quarterback at all. The Giants should win this one by default, being in San Fran. I guess that gives them a chance, but I think the Giants pulling together and get one in the Bay. All right.
Is Breida out again this week, or is he going to be limited again? Do you know?
I don't know. He's been questionable all year.
Yeah, he's still questionable.
Yeah, because Mozart broke his arm last week.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
he
was on my fantasy team.
That'll play into it too.
Our lovely Lions at the Bears.
Well, I'll start off this way. Chicago has a pretty solid D. There's no doubt in that. They got like 21 turnovers, 22 turnovers this year, something like that. They're only allowing it's not even over 100 yards rushing a game. I just don't think the Lions are going to get this one. I mean, Trubisky, he doesn't look great, but he gets the job done. They're actually, I think the Lions are 9-1 versus Chicago in the last 5 or 6 years. So I think the Bears got him again.
I'm going Detroit just because.
Yeah. The homer pick.
No, well, because I think there's too many jobs in the line if the Lions lose again this week that they're going to figure out a way to win so people don't get fired. That's the only reason why.
I agree with you there. Again, this is another toss-up for me, especially being in Chicago. But I just think Chicago's offense isn't enough. And I think Detroit can pull something together, another week of practice without Golden Tate, pull a few things together. I think their defense can do enough to stop Chicago. Trubisky is not a good quarterback yet. He's shown signs that maybe down the road he can be. But 16 touchdowns, 7 picks. Glover Quinn and our defensive backs really have a chance to stop him, I think, in the passing game.
As long as Slay's healthy.
Yeah. That's going to be the main key. But I'm going Lions.
I really hope you guys are right because I love the Lions. But, man, I don't know about this one.
It's tough being a Lions fan.
The Lions do this every year. They'll string us on until, like, week 14. And they'll finally give
Oh, yeah.
I'm not strung along far enough yet.
Exactly. There's still hope. We can still win 10 games.
I saw a graphic today that the Lions are still in the playoff hunt with 3 wins.
Yeah, they are.
And they are.
Yeah,
I don't know how, but they are. All right, buddy. Thanks for your picks.
All right, yeah, well, thanks for having me. It's
See
fun.
you, dude. Talk to you later.
All right, we'll see ya.
Oh, good old Quap.
Pretty sure it's pronounced Kwapacheski.
Kwapacheski? Quap. Kwap. Mark Quap.
Good old Polish last names.
Gotta love them. So, good show, bad show, indifferent?
We had it. We had a show.
That we did, Matthew.
That we did.
I'm glad you were here to witness it.
Most of the time. It was 3 or 4 fuzzy moments. Borderline falling asleep. We've done worse.
Yeah.
Probably.
Go on. You got this far in our episode. Go share the link on Facebook. We'll try to bring you on just like we did Quap. Next week, if you ever want to come on the show, talk to us. Hey, you got some cool thing going on. Reach out, man. You can always reach us at mattandmuse@gmail.com. Call or text 989-372-1391. Again, 989-372-1391. On Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Matt and Muse. mattandmuse.com. Our podcasts are up there. Episodes, everything's fun.
So much fun.
We got some big things coming.
Fun everywhere.
Maybe we'll do something fun for our 20th episode next week. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you on Monday.
See?
That was the Matt Musz Show. Thank you for listening.